My name is Carlen Blackstone, and I just joined at the 9:30 service on October 20th. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my journey to Dutilh, because I grew up in this area and moved to Cranberry Township when I was 7 months old. And as a result of that, my parents made the decision, I was the oldest of four, to have all of our family drive directly past Dutilh for the entire first 18 years of my life to go to Salem United Methodist in Wexford. So therefore, when I decided that I was being called to move back to this area and to move back into Cranberry Township after retiring from 35 years of teaching math and computer science, I wanted to have a new experience. So I decided that I was going to come to Dutilh after all, because after all, it was a shorter drive than it was to go to Salem. So I needed to take advantage of that, and I really wanted to connect as quickly as possible to the Cranberry community. And as a result of making that decision early on in the process, it has absolutely amazed me, some of the things that have happened since. So I told my father, who lives in Gibsonia right now, just celebrated his 90th birthday, that I was going to be doing this. And he said, well, as a matter of fact, your grandmother, his mother, and all of her siblings were baptized at Dutilh, and that would have probably been in the 1890s. So clearly they were not buried here, but they were all baptized and went to a one-room schoolhouse that was at Crider's Corners, where there's now huge amount of traffic on a daily basis. And then I ended up going to the Bible study. So Jim has a Thursday morning Bible study, and I sat down, and the person sitting next to me admitted that, or introduced herself and said, I know you because the two of us did sports camp, senior high sports camp at Jumonville in the early 80s. And I already knew that I had a connection with Jim, which is part of the reason why I decided to come here, was because Jim and I were on paid program staff in 1976 through 1978, and went to all three camps, Wesley Woods and Jumonville and Camp Allegheny, and provided programming and counseling services for those 3 summers. So then I went to the ministry fair because I wanted to see what all was going on, and Clyde and Sherry Cameron came up to me and told me, did you know that you babysat for our kids a long time ago? Which I didn't remember, but they remembered. And then I ended up talking to Barbara Straisley when I went to Yeck's Family Farm, and we realized that she owns part of the Straisley Farm, which was one of the 5 farms that existed when my dad first moved here in 1958 on Rochester Road. Those were the only things that were there, and now there's about 50 housing developments on that same stretch of 2.5 miles. So it has been amazing to me. I also have just recently found out this past couple of weeks that there are people that went to a camp that I directed at Jumonville. Deneen Hicks and Sarah Hogue and Sandy Stewart all participated in a grandparents and mommy and me camp that I led when my daughter was 5 to 9 years old, and she's now 20 and going to Robert Morris. So I wanted to share all of that because I am just amazed at how God connects us with people and places over generations, and there's an amazing history that this church has had, and it has touched lives for many, many years, and I hope to be a part of the lives that it's going to touch in the future.